Hello there once again. My name is Pawan. Today I'm gonna be talking about how you're not a man, you're a boy. You are not a man, you're a boy. First point is, let's say you're interested in a woman. You want to take her out on a date, but when the bill comes, you don't want to pay for her. You just want to split the bill instead. Because your hope here is she is an adult. She can take care of herself, right? She can take care of herself. So why should I pay for her? I mean, yeah, she can pay her for you can still do that. You can pay for yourself, she can pay for herself and split it into half and everything. You can do that. But if she's a feminine woman, you're not gonna see her again. She's not gonna respect you as a man. And it's not that the feminine woman wants to take advantage of you and you pay for everything. So it's not like that. It shows her that you're a man, that you can take control, that you can lead the situation, and she can simply relax in her feminine energy and allow you to take over. She trusts you enough that you will lead the direction and she will follow you. But no, you want to just have her pay for herself and have the relationship equal. That's your way of going about things. That's not how it works. Men and women are not equal. We're different. They have different desires and wants. We have different desires and needs. They have different needs as well. So it doesn't work like that. Secondly, is that you are a boy. You know why? Because you give a fuck a lot, like too much, about how your hair looks, what outfit you should wear and everything. Okay, have a simple haircut, have a decent style on you, but not to the point where you're obsessing over it too much. Oh, what's the trend nowadays? What are all the people wearing? Oh, I want to look at this fashion show. Does my hair look good? I mean, who gives a fuck? No, seriously, who cares? Nobody cares. And even then, if you wear such fancy clothes outside as a man, people will look at you and think, what, is he gay or something? Why is he wearing it like that? What? Why is his hair so curly? Why does he have it covering his like half of it's covering here and half of it's like that? Like, is he gay or something? Are you gay? Are you a boy or are you a man? What are you? If you're a masculine man, those are the last things you should be giving a fuck about. You should be caring about your health, your wealth, your social life, your relationships, your values. Those things are what come first, not these things. These are the last. I'm not saying you shouldn't care about how you look. Of course, take good care of yourself. Go to the gym, have some muscles, have good hairstyle, but not to the point where you're just obsessing about it and people think you're gay about it. No, not like that. Just have some priorities here. And the same thing here applies for guys who are not skinny, but they're fat. Same thing here applies for fat souls. You know why? Because they easily overeat and they just don't want to take care of themselves. They don't want to lose all that fat they have. They're just like, okay, fuck it. And then they're gonna complain about how their life is so hard that nobody really likes them, that they're such a loser, that nobody gives them attention, nobody wants to spend time with them, they're so alone, they have a shit life. Yeah, bro, because you don't really watch how much you should eat. You don't even look at what you put in your mouth. Of course, people are not gonna respect you. And because of this, you give in to easy things. You give in to instant gratification. Instead of doing what needs to be done, in this case, as a fat, so you should be going to the gym. Even as a skinny boy, you shouldn't be skinny. Have some muscles, look good. It's too fucking bright. Have some muscles, look good, take care of your looks. But no, you choose to do instant gratification. You choose to buy the snacks from the local convenience store that is nearby your place. You choose to go there, you choose to get soda, you choose to get pizza, you choose to get burger and french fries, super processed, super fatty and saturated fats. They're not healthy for you. Literally, your body literally tells you, why did you eat this? I feel like shit. Why did you eat this? Now I have to process this shit for you? Just because you felt good in your head? And the thing is, you're letting your mind control you. You don't control your mind. This is the only thing you can do. You can only control your mind. You can't control the weather. You can't control what other people think of you. Nothing. You can't even control your body. You can't even control how your heart beats, what your lungs do, what your kidneys doing, what your stomach is doing, what your legs are doing. If there's any movement in the muscle, whatever, like by itself. You can't control all of that. You can only control what you think, how you do about things. That's it. And because of instant gratification, you choose to avoid the hard things. And they're hard things for a reason, right? Those hard things are what give them value. You having a six-pack is not easy to come, otherwise everyone would have it. It's hard, which is why nobody does it. Which is what gives it value, which is what makes people respect you. Like, okay, this man went through some hard things. He had to not eat all that junk food. He had to discipline himself every day to achieve this goal that he has now. That's not easy to do, which is why it's called hard. It's called fucking valuable. I spoke to somebody recently and he told me that a couple of years ago, he would smoke a lot and he slowly quit smoking. But he started again. So I asked him, why did you start smoking again? You were on a good progress. You stopped it. You stopped smoking. So why did you start again? And his excuse was that he was facing some sort of hard time, like there was some stress he had to deal with. I mean, I'm not saying that his problems were nothing, like, whatever. Of course, we all have problems to deal with, but we don't. But as a man, you don't just sit down and smoke, right? That's cope. Again, you're just giving into what is easy. You don't really care about the harm it's doing to your body. And in this case, for this guy, and he still he also told me that he's trying to stop smoking now, but then he just pulled out a cigarette and started smoking again in front of me. So it doesn't really work like that. You're not trying to smoke, buddy. You just smoked like 4 cigarettes in front of me in the past 10 minutes. So what is this about? You're not trying to quit. You're just smoking more and more. If you're like this type of man, stop doing that. If you say to somebody that you're trying to smoke and you're smoking in front of him, you're trying to quit smoking and you're smoking in front of him, he's not gonna respect you. He's not gonna look up to you. The only way you would gain respect in the situation is, no, I'm gonna throw my cigarette pack away. Fuck it. I'm gonna do my best to resist the urge to buy a pack of cigarettes and have them being smoked. That would make you respectable. Now, I'm not saying you're a perfect man. Of course, there's many smokers who have successfully quit and they're now super healthy and everything. I'm not saying that. Of course, we've all made mistakes here. We're not perfect. I've smoked before, but not cigarettes. I've smoked shisha. And I haven't smoked in the past, I don't know, fucking half a year. I quit smoking half a year ago and I still haven't. I didn't touch it once. And I feel healthy. With the easy way out, there's also another one. It's called video games. Most men have this excuse. I've said this in my previous videos. Most men have this thing where they are going to university, maybe they are working a job, maybe they don't have that many friends, they don't have a good social life, they're not in a relationship with somebody, they don't have a woman. So in order to escape reality, they just go to their video games, turn on their PlayStation or Xbox or their little gaming PC if they have one, and just start gaming for 7 hours, 8 hours, even more. Because they don't want to face life as it is. They just want to escape it and not have the pain there and just get rid of the pain temporarily. That's not good either. That's why you're not a man. You're a boy. Especially if you're a man, if you're an adult over the age of 20, let's say 22, this is the age where you should start thinking about what you want to do in your life. What goals do you have? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? You have to start thinking about these things. If you waste your time playing video games at this age, you're not a respectable person. You're an adult and you're doing what kids would do. You're doing childish things. You're sitting down on your laptop and you're fucking playing video games as a fucking adult. Bro, have some shame and have some respect for yourself. You think, let's say you want to be a millionaire, do you think millionaires play video games? Or are they working very hard towards their businesses? Even if they have millions already, do you think they just quit and they just go, okay, fuck it, I have my millions, I'm gonna quit all that, I'm gonna start playing video games? They're not gonna do that. Any man who has common sense would know they wouldn't do that. So why would you do it? I spoke about video games, and this is kind of relatable, but not in the sense of escaping reality. Okay, yeah, well, there is one thing, like having drugs and smoking weed. Yeah, you're a fucking boy if you take that. You're not a man. No man who has responsibilities, who respects himself will do that. A man wouldn't do those things. Only a boy would. And the next point here, like I said, it's kind of relatable, but it's not like escaping reality. It's about cleanliness and hygiene. In the office where I work at, everyone's an adult. Of course, everyone's an adult. It's common sense. In the kitchen, whenever I go to the kitchen during the end of my shift to clean up my coffee cup, I would see there's a sink there, and everyone in the office, they would leave their cups and bowls and plates there, and it would overflow sometimes. And there would be food in there as well. People would not finish their food completely and just leave leftovers there. And there's a janitor that comes every afternoon towards the end of our shifts. She comes in and she starts cleaning up. And of course you feel bad for her. I mean, it's her job to clean up. Of course, it's her job. However, that still doesn't take away that you're an adult and that you should clean up after yourself. Most people are like that. They might be good looking and everything. They might, like I said, they might be a fucking fanboy. I don't know. They might be kind of good looking and decent, but that doesn't really mean that they're clean, because most people are like that. This is from I've seen many things. And presumably in your lives or in your lives too. How many times, if you take the public transport, you go outside somewhere in the morning, you can sometimes tell that people haven't showered. You can tell that, no? I hope I'm not alone here. Like, how fucked is that? How fucked is that when you're getting up to go somewhere in the morning, people don't even shower? They just get up, they change their clothes, maybe brush their teeth. I wouldn't even be surprised if some of them don't even brush their teeth. Like, brush their teeth, fix their hair, and boom, go. And their body is still fucking disgusting. They haven't even showered. You know what I'm talking about here. You know, like, let's say you're in a public, let's say you're walking somewhere, you're just waiting to cross the road, and or maybe you're in a public bus or a tram or metro or whatever, and there's like a lot of people inside, and you're just observing the people around you, and you can see some of them have that look on their face, and you know the look what I mean here. That means that they haven't fucking showered. So would you expect them to be clean if they haven't showered? Fuck no. They probably have a filthy house anyway. Doesn't matter. They don't brush their teeth twice a day. Most people don't do that. They don't clean up after themselves. They don't clean where they live, their room, their house. They expect others to clean it up for them. They expect everything to be given to them on a plate. And those people, those men, sorry. I keep saying this. Sorry, those boys then tell you that they are gonna be rich someday and that they're gonna retire in the next 10 years or so. It's not gonna happen. If you're thinking this yourself, that in the next 6, 7, 8 years, I'm gonna be financially free and I'm gonna have the ability to do whatever I want and wherever I want. Let me tell you, if you live in a filthy way, you're not gonna be rich. It's these small things that really matter. Now I'm not saying you're gonna be, if you're clean, you're gonna be a fucking millionaire. I'm not saying that. With cleanliness, that tells you that, okay, you have the discipline to clean up after yourself every time. You can live cleanly, which means you can do hard things as well, because this is not an easy thing to do. Like, you have to get up and have to mop the floor, have to clean up my table, have to clean the kitchen, have to clean the toilet. Of course, those things take time, and it's very tiring as well. However, if you do this, that also means that you can also do the other hard things that you want to do in a business. Let's say it's fucking uploading content on YouTube. This takes time to script the video, you have to think about how you should properly say it, where you should film this, how you should film this, the editing software, how you should have the thumbnail, what title should you name the video, what should you put in the description, how do you brand your channel. Of course, these things are not hard. I mean, these things are not easy. But still, if you clean your room, if you clean up after yourself, if you have a clean surrounding, you live in a nice way, these things would be hard, but you will still do them. And then this allows you to be rich. I mean, this might be a stupid point to some of you, but to those who are thinking, just think about this. It makes sense. Just think about it. Now let's talk about the women here. You as a boy think women are the problem, that they're broken. That, there's no good women anymore. Where are the good women gone? But no, women are not the problem. Women are just a reflection of the men in your country. And this is, about this part, about women, I'm mainly talking about the West. Because only in the West do you have women that are so fucked. And it's not their fault completely. It's because of the men in their countries. Men not giving a fuck about values, men allowing girls to have guy friends. They don't really love them properly and everything. Don't show the girls what boundaries are, what values are. And especially for young boys. Boys, not men, boys. You might say that there's no virgins anymore. Where can I find a virgin? There's no virgin in this country. There's no virgins in the West. But at the same time, you might think of going to the nightclub with your boys, and you want to hook up with somebody. Let's say there's a girl who's a virgin there. It's her first few times she's been going to the club, and I mean, of course, I'm not saying that she's completely fine for going to the club. I'm not saying she shouldn't go to a club. But let's say she's a virgin, and you come across her, and you take it away, and you just dump her. So you're a part of the problem here. You complaining that I wanted a virgin, I want to be in a relationship with a virgin, but they're all used up by somebody else before me anyway, or whatever. You're still a part of the problem here, because you traumatize that girl, you use her up, and now the next person that she's gonna be with will have to deal with her bullshit because of what you did. Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair for the good men who want to have a good wife? No. Is that fair to good feminine women that want a good man as a husband, but now they're afraid that because of all the trash people who are so fucked up nowadays, women being masculine, men being feminine, both people are getting fucked here. Good men, good women, they're both getting fucked. They're not finding good partners for themselves, at least in their countries. The only way is if they go to another country or find somebody from another country that has those values to settle down with, basically. And with this point, you said there's no virgins anymore. You don't, and like nightclub, you didn't see that girl for who she is. You just saw her as a whole. And same thing, not even in a club. Let's say you talk about these things a lot. These are very important to you. Like, I care about virgins and whatever. But let's say you're going out in the public and you see a girl there that you find attractive. And of course, you're gonna get the desire to have sex with her. You're gonna get that desire as a man. Sorry. You as a boy will have that desire to have sex with her, but you're not really gonna see her for who she is. You don't even think that she has a soul. You just think she's a walking piece of hole to put their dirty dick inside and ejaculate. And boys like you probably want to do that stuff to increase your body count and to brag to your boys, like, oh, hey, you know that girl over there, I slept with her last weekend. You know the one over here, I slept with her last night. I just had the best sex of my life yesterday with this girl. You know, I slept with like 10 girls in like 2 months. Oh, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. I'll repeat that again. That is filthy disgusting. And you are not a man if you are living like that. You're ruining those girls. Literally. Boys like you are ruining those girls for other people. Like I said, this is just fucking up the dating market for the good people that genuinely want to find a wife. Those women that you fucked over, they want a good husband. But now their chances of finding that will be harder because of what you did to them. Because a girl's past actions determines her future. The very fucked up things she did with you. Well, she thought you were the right man, but no, you had different intentions. And because of that, a poor guy in her life later at her life will have to deal with her bullshit because of what you did. So you're a boy for that. You're not a man. No man would do that. A man, you know what a man would do here? He would see a beautiful girl. He would approach her. He would be really respectful to her. He would compliment her. He would take her out to a date. He would be very careful. on whether he should sleep with her or not. He would be very careful. He would literally scan her. He would have to think about whether she's a really good girl or not, if she's really going to support him in his future, in his goals, if she's not gonna be a headache to him, if she's not gonna hurt him constantly or whatever, if she's not gonna pull him down instead of giving him the extra ambition to go further and further. That's when a man would then decide to commit to her and have sex with her. Only then. Otherwise, no. He's not a man, he's a boy. Because for females, their genitals are connected to their heart. And a piece of them gets taken every time some guy goes inside of her. And so you as a boy, you just took a piece of her for no reason. You didn't have to do that. But just because you wanted to increase your body count, you did it. To feel good about yourself. To brag to the others that, oh, I'm not a loser, guys. I get a lot of pussy. The fuck's wrong with you? You're a boy. Grow up. And all of these things that I've said here, you know why they happen? It's because of the fathers. Most people have not had a good fatherly figure. Some people did not have a father at all. Some people had them, but that dad didn't give a fuck about anything. He was too feminine. He was too much of a pussy to have any boundaries. He didn't have much testosterone. He had too much estrogen, basically. For girls' fathers, he doesn't really interfere in her dating life. He doesn't ask her to see how the guy is that she's interested in. How does he treat her? If his family is good, what does he talk about to her? Does he talk nicely about his mom? Does he talk nicely about his dad? He doesn't proactively try to know more. He doesn't proactively try to protect his daughter from getting used up by some guys. Because every failed relationship that a girl gets into, those could have been avoided. If the dad just gave a fuck and just interfered and said, You're not gonna have any boyfriends until I'm gonna decide to marry you off. And even if you want to have one, you were gonna tell me who that, I'm speaking as a dad here. This is what I would say to my daughter if she was interested in a man. I would say to her, you have to tell me who he is, you have to show his photo to me, you have to give me his information. You have to tell me how he treats you and everything. You're not gonna have sex, you're not gonna sleep with him. You can only sleep with him until I am fine with that. Only if you genuinely want to marry him. This is what I would say to my daughter. And I would meet him as well. I would ask the guy to come over. Of course, it's not easy. I'm not saying this is easy. But this is what I would want for my daughter. I would want the best for her. I would protect her in every sort of way. I don't want her to have a fucking relationship, have sex with the guy, and then if that fails apart and she gets into another one, and that also fails apart and gets into another one, and that also fails apart. I don't want that. I don't want her to be traumatized, to be used up by other men, and to have her being called a whore. But this is what most dads don't do in the world, in the Western world. Again, I'm talking about the Western world here. You think these types of things happen in Muslim countries like in Saudi Arabia and Iran? You think these things happen there? In Indonesia, do you think this would happen? In countries where the family unit is so tight, where everyone knows what the role of each gender is, what the role of the man is, what the role of the woman is. You think in those countries they have these problems? In countries like Pakistan, in these countries where hard times are common, this wouldn't be common there. This is only common in the Western countries, these types of things. Dad is completely fine. A Western dad is completely fine with his daughter looking like a fucking prostitute, wearing super short shorts and those fucking tops where her skin is completely all over the place, where guys can see literally everything. It's like she's almost naked in some sort of way. Dads are fine with that. No balls at all. And then same thing for the boys. Fathers don't teach their sons the brutal things life has for them once they turn 18 and once they turn into adults. Dads don't teach them those lessons. And eventually what happens is they also don't give them love properly. They don't give proper love to the son, to the daughter. So they feel abandoned, and then they look for these types of things elsewhere. For girls, this would be through casual sex. This would be through alcohol, through nightclubs, through toxic friends, through useless Netflix shows, chocolate, food. For guys, this would be through casual sex as well. So through the same things. They would both feel abandoned because of the love that they didn't get from their father. And dads don't teach their sons to be tough for a brutal world, for this brutal world, for this cold world that we live in. And because of this, a very minority of men, once they are adults, they actually learn the lessons they were supposed to know when they were in their teenage years and everything while growing up. They were supposed to know. A very, very minority of them have the humility to learn everything, to face pain after pain because their dad failed. And those men become exceptional men. They have retired themselves. They have a good family set up for themselves. They have a good wife. They have good kids. Very, very few percentage of men are able to do that. But most of the boys after that, like most of the boys that haven't had a good fatherly figure, they would commit crime, they would be single, they would blame others for their problems, they would be living like this with all these things that I said, not clean, doesn't give a fuck about his hygiene, treats women like this, women as a whole, doesn't love women properly, doesn't understand the feminine nature, nothing. Because of dads mainly, here. These types of fathers in the Western world. And so the main conclusion of this video is that most guys are fucking losers. Most guys are boys, they're not men. And the quickest way for you to be a man is you just have to have the humility and the shame to just take responsibility for everything. Everything. I have made a video on this. You can check it out here. There's a fucking pop-up here or somewhere. Here or somewhere, I don't know. Go click on it and watch it. You'll see what I mean. So I don't want you to be a loser. I don't want you to be a boy. I want you to be a man. Okay? So in this case, you have to do what you need to do. Do what you have to do, not do what you want to do. Because what you want to do may not be in the best interest for you. So do what you need to be doing to get that life that you want, to become the man that you always wanted to be. And I'm gonna see you in my next video.